Hi, truly great games never grow old. In this video, I will talk about interesting shooters that many have long forgotten. I'll start with Singularity. It's an unusual shooter that combines elements of horror and science fiction in its setting. The action unfolds on a secretive Soviet island, where a group of American infantrymen arrives to investigate paranormal activity and eliminate a threat of global proportions. Players can expect a gloomy atmosphere, various mutants, space-time jumps, global conspiracies, futuristic weapons, and other gameplay elements. For example, you can practically instantly age objects or enemies, change the trajectory of bullets, and move between the future and the past. Additionally, the game presents decisions that will impact the ending. Rogue Trooper, a science fiction action game set in the future, where after devastating global conflicts, the planet has been divided into two military blocks, the North and the South. The latter actively deploy genetically modified soldiers in combat, whose memories and skills are stored on special chips, available for extraction, replacement, and installation in any other fighter when needed. Players get to play as one of these genetic infantrymen, who has managed to collect several chips from fallen comrades, each with their unique abilities. In addition to this, the hero has a plethora of useful futuristic equipment and weapons at his disposal, such as an intelligent backpack or a multifunctional transforming rifle. Star Wars Republic Commando, a tactical shooter set in the Star Wars universe, the plot of which revolves around the Delta Squad of special clones. The soldiers are tasked with carrying out combat operations on various planets, while the player, in the role of the leader, issues commands and opposes enemies. Unfortunately, lightsabers cannot be used in this shooter, but you'll still have fun without them. The game includes various content that will be familiar to fans of the film saga. For those unfamiliar with Star Wars, it offers a certain hybrid of Doom and SWAT 4, where the dynamism comes from the former and squad management from the latter, with squad members becoming as dear to you as family by the end of the game. Gun. Perhaps today Gun doesn't look as impressive, but in 2005, this game was astonishing. It was the Red Dead Redemption of its time, with an open world, side quests, and a story of vengeance and redemption in the finest traditions of classic westerns. Here, you could even continue playing in free roam after completing the story, work as a bounty hunter, engage in duels, rob trains, fight Native Americans, or simply ride horses, admiring what then seemed like such beautiful and realistic prairies of the Wild West. Total Overdose, another shooter that carries the spirit of classic westerns, despite its events unfolding in modern times. The player takes on the role of a character trying to uncover the true reason for his father's death, leading him to uncover a conspiracy within the Mexican mafia. For many, Total Overdose is remembered as a mix of an open-world, stylish Max Payne-style shootouts, and black humor reminiscent of Tarantino films. Even almost 20 years after its release, the game remains one of the craziest third-person shooters, largely due to its combat system. Hidden and Dangerous 2, a sequel to the game of the same name from 1999, which became famous for combining elements of tactics and RPGs, allowing players to give orders to other squad members, control vehicles, and improvise during missions. Here, we command a Special Forces squad during World War II and carry out various secret missions around the world, including espionage, hostage rescue, and destruction of enemy targets. Alongside Operation Flashpoint, released around the same time, this game amazed players with large open maps, as well as freedom of action and choices in achieving mission objectives. Prey. This is a first-person shooter where players explore a spaceship inhabited by hostile aliens. One of the most notable aspects of the game is its innovative movement mechanics. The protagonist could use gravity to move around the environment, creating unique opportunities for shooting and solving puzzles. Additionally, the game introduces portal mechanics, allowing players to teleport from one place to another, opening up new paths and tactical possibilities. Visually, the game also impressed with its intricately designed levels. Freedom Fighters. Riding the success wave of the Hitman series, Electronic Arts gave developers full freedom to create a big-budget blockbuster. However, the game went unnoticed despite positive reviews from critics. The game's events unfold in an alternative reality where the Soviet Union did not collapse, and the Cold War continues. We play as Chris Stone, a simple New York plumber who becomes a national hero during the sudden invasion of Soviet troops in the USA. As the leader of the resistance, you'll not only personally participate in massive armed clashes on the streets of New York, but also engage in planning operations, tactical combat, and arming your squad during each mission. Oddworld: Stranger's Wrath. It's a blend of action-adventure and shooter where players take on the role of a stranger, a bounty hunter on a tough mission to earn a lot of money. Local currency is awarded for capturing criminals, whom you must track down and capture. Of course, the protagonist can eliminate the villains, but then the reward will significantly decrease. The game's main feature is its gameplay and mechanic switching depending on what the player is doing. Thus, while exploring the area and interacting with various NPCs, the user sees the character, but during combat, they observe the action from a first-person perspective. Call of Juarez: Bound in Blood. In this shooter, you'll embark on the Wild West journey of 1864. The gameplay is presented in the style of Western action films. You'll participate in hot prison breaks, bank robberies, try to survive duels, learn about conflicts with Native American inhabitants of North America, and fight powerful bosses. The main element of the game is shooting and the use of various weapons. Additionally, the game offers interesting mechanics such as the concentration mode, allowing you to slow down time and increase shooting accuracy. There's also a multiplayer mode where players can battle each other as different characters from the game. Sin episodes: Emergence. The Sin series has had a tragic fate. It's often called a Half-Life clone, even though it was released earlier. The main irony is that the game was also developed on the Source engine and was supposed to be distributed in episodes, but due to horribly low sales, the project was never completed. Unlike the serious and dark Half-Life with a silent protagonist, Sin was full of black humor, mockery of action movie cliches, and a funny main character. However, this didn't help the series recoup its costs. The Chronicles of Riddick. This game is closely tied to the plot of the movie Pitch Black, for which it serves as a prequel, and the famous American actor was directly involved in its creation. The game takes place in a high-security prison where the protagonist ends up, and throughout the gameplay, he tries to escape. Besides traditional shooter elements, the gameplay contains many stealth elements, making the game quite non-linear and varied in terms of ways to progress. Players will have to navigate through numerous levels of prison security, fight various enemies, and achieve the desired freedom. Second Sight, a game from the creators of Time Splitters. Those who remember Cortez hit like. Second Sight combines third-person shooter elements with stealth and features a unique system for using psychic abilities. The main character is a man who wakes up in a psychiatric clinic with amnesia and unusual psychic abilities. As players progress through the storyline, they will uncover the protagonist's past secrets and unravel mysterious events related to his memory loss. The game's standout feature is the ability to use psychic abilities to overcome obstacles and battle enemies. For example, players can use telekinesis to lift and move objects or enter an astral projection state to explore surrounding areas unnoticed or possess enemies and control them. Red Orchestra, another series of shooters set in World War II, known for its spectacular visuals, engaging gameplay, and high degree of realism. Players can play for different sides of the conflict. In addition to a wide selection of firearms, there is also a significant amount of controllable military equipment, the control of which is designed to be as close to the original as possible. The design of the game locations, showcasing war-torn Europe, is very convincing. The game features a multiplayer mode for 32 players. Enemy Front, another narrative-driven game about World War II, where you'll learn the story of a journalist who, upon learning about the threat from the Third Reich, tries to inform the world about it. However, as a result of an incident, he begins to be pursued by the political police. Eventually, the hero joins the Warsaw Resistance. Now he has to engage in sabotage and espionage. But this doesn't mean that all missions have to be completed in stealth mode. We'll have a choice, to pass the level quietly or to engage in shootouts and explosions. That's all from me. Have a nice day.